Michael had lived a pretty ordinary life. He was raised by his parents Jim and Lena Gray in a normal suburban house in Wisconsin. He loved his parents, though they were both clearly eccentrics. They were laughably absent-minded. They would often forget birthdays or phone numbers. Important documents went missing all the time, forever lost in his mom's filing system, which was honestly just putting all the papers in an unlabeled box until that box was full. Then a new unlabeled box would become the new place for papers. They easily had 20 large boxes of papers stacked up in the basement. Michael had given up on asking for his birth certificate long ago, as it was clear his parents had no idea where it was. He had long dreaded the day that he would actually need it, because that meant he would have to search his mom's filing system. They had other eccentricities too. They were terrified of the idea of little Michael having imaginary friends for some reason. Through his childhood years, Michael had a secret imaginary friend called Kimberly. Kimberly was in her 20s, with warm brown eyes and long blonde hair. She played Safari or Pirates or anything else Michael wanted to play. Michael had made the mistake of mentioning Kimberly to his parents when he was 4 years old. They had been horrified, and his father had spanked him for the first time in his whole life. After that, Kimberly became a secret. At 7 years old, Michael decided that he was getting too old for an imaginary friend. He sat Kimberly down as if they were in a business meeting and told her that it was time for their adventures to end. She seemed a little sad, but agreed. She always supported Michael. Just like that, she was gone, and Michael was off to new things. He began playing football and became really good. Of course, his parents were at every game. Every game! He went all the way through varsity football and got a full ride to the University of Wisconsin. They were always there cheering him on and thoroughly embarrassing him with their excessive pride. Michael had lived a pretty normal life. He married his high school sweetheart Jessica when he was 29, and they had opened up a successful little sports shop together. They say you marry either someone just like or the exact opposite of your parents. That seemed to have some truth to it. Jessica was ultra organized, and it bothered her that Michael didn't have his birth certificate. She had been pressuring him for years to find the damn thing, but Michael knew he needed to wait until his parents were out of town to start the daunting task of looking for the piece of paper. His mother was embarrassed that she didn't know exactly where it was, and he wanted to spare her feelings. He got his chance on his parents' 35th wedding anniversary. He and Jessica had surprised them with a week-long trip to Hawaii. They were over the moon, as they had never had a honeymoon. The morning after they left, Michael used his spare key to go into his parents' basement in search of his birth certificate. The place was hoarder's paradise, with boxes piled high while almost completely covering the floor. It took him 2 days to find that box. It just happened to not be the box he was looking for. Inside the box was a pink floral dress and an ivory pair of women's shoes. The clothes were in a plastic bag, and on the front of that bag was taped a newspaper clipping. It was almost 40 years old. It showed a woman with big hair and dated glasses. On top of the picture read that one word: missing. The article went on to say that the lady's name was Jan Riley, a 27-year-old student. She had been last seen on an August night wearing a pink floral dress and white shoes. Looking back at the bag, Michael stared at the articles of clothing. This time he noticed something he hadn't at first glance. There were dark, almost black stains on the dress. He felt sick. Why did his parents have this? Did they even know they had it? Certainly, there had to be some reasonable explanation as to why this was down here. He was close to just putting the bag back in the box when a thought hit his mind. What if it was Jessica? Certainly someone was out there looking for answers on what had happened to their loved one. He felt uneasy, but he took the box with him upstairs and called the police. Within 24 hours, police had cleared out the messy basement. Other boxes were removed from the property, but Michael wasn't told what was in them. By the next daily cycle, forces of men were excavating shallow graves found under the bricks of the basement. Michael's parents were brought back to Wisconsin by police transport. The media was hounding Michael and Jessica's small home. Apparently 12 bodies had been removed from the basement, and only half of the ground had been dug out. Michael was called in to listen to part of his parents' confessions not too long after they had been charged with the murder of 15 women with ages ranging from 17 to 29. It was videotaped, and he saw a detective sitting across a defendant-looking version of his father as the photo of a young blonde with warm brown eyes was pushed to the side of the table. She looks so familiar. "Do you recognize this woman?" the detective on the tape asked. "Yes," Jim said in a monotone. "What was her name?" In that same empty voice, he answered, "Kimberly Green." "Did you kill Miss Green?" "Yes." "How?" the detective urged him on. "We strangled her." Michael couldn't believe this was his father speaking. The man seemed so different. "Miss Green went missing with her 2-month-old son Jacob. Did you kill him as well?" For the first time, Jim showed some emotion. "No," he choked up. "What did you do with him?" the detective asked. Jim paused before answering. "Renamed him Michael.